Good. All right. I wonder if I'm waiting for this. If I run a direct line. All right, we are back. This is Florida. Down
This
here,
is
we have really warm weather. Sometimes the internet just isn't, you know, or there's just so many people it crashes here.
or you
Welcome
just have to
back.
find something to blame the weather negative on.
Well, that's my go-to. Last time it was a hurricane when it was acting up, So before the internet crashed, because James on the show, we were talking a little bit about the bowl jump, and I had said how that was what got me hooked on the sport too. Back in my hometown, we just had the one jump, came down, jumped up, and spent all day out there. That's what got me in the sport.
Exactly. I mean, that was it. The bowl. I think Albino Village actually shut us down when we got got through to it. The bowl jump. You know what? You're exactly right, Justin. Because I think every probably every BMXer had a place that was exactly like a bowl jump
Mm-hmm.
where you jump straight up and you land flat
Yes.
down. But I was saying it was one of the most popular um, spots, I guess, in our area. And we had I don't know if you're familiar with a guy named Kenny Amen and Wayne McFarquhar. Kenny Amen, old Mongoose factory guy from the air, lived in upstate New York, I think at the time. And Mike was over, and he's like, Kenny, you should come over. And they were like, oh, the bowl. Yeah, we heard about the bowl. We're gonna go to the bowl. And and they came down, and we had to make our own jumps because there weren't many jumps. And he's like, this is the bowl. We're like, yeah, this is the bowl. You see a bowl? There's a bowl there. And we just had fun. But yeah, it was nothing special. Nothing like when you used to look in the magazines and see
Right.
what these guys were practicing on, which is, you know, quite amazing. Why they were, and probably the reason why they were, the West Coast, and I'll say, and Florida, because the weather was so great. You can have tracks, all year round.
Mm-hmm.
We're just awesome at racing and jumping.
So we're gonna have. I got one more BMX question for you. Then we're gonna jump into the podcast.
All right.
Name three of your favorite BMX riders. They can be past, present, current, and why.
Eric Carter, Mike Miranda. That's it.
Okay.
No. I have to give love. I have to give love to my brothers. Uh, actually, I will say my favorite rider. The two of three are definitely Mike and Eric. I'll probably say my third favorite rider would probably be Joe Bombert. Probably Joe Bombert,
All right.
I think. Uh, for a lot of reasons, not just, and I think for me, favorite rider is a lot about personality than it is racing. Although all three are awesome riders, and you've heard Eric, and you know about Eric. Um, I am amazed every day about hearing, how he looks at a track and how he determines the lines that he's going to go on. And I mean, it is awesome if you ever get a chance to really talk to him, it is awesome to hear how his brain works regarding that. You know what? I did miss one guy, Hans Joe Bay, who's come up a couple of times most recently. Awesome. I haven't raced against him a lot, but that dude could pull like it was no one's business down the first straightaway. I mean, he was awesome fast, not from here,
Mm-hmm.
and had a brother that was that was a big motocross racer. But yeah, his name has come up. I remember. I think Eddie
Yeah.
King mentioned him
Yep.
also. Yeah, he comes up now quite a bit in conversation for some reason.
Very cool. So let's talk Dirty Knobs podcast.
Yeah.
How did this thing get started?
Yeah, so Mike and Eric it really were brainstorming this thing for a while, and they wanted to do it. And they say about a year or so they had talked about it. They just couldn't get it going, and almost I would say have given up. And I had seen Mike at the Hockey All-Star game last year in Vegas, and we were just talking. It was so funny because Mike is, we want to say I have a lot of really, I want to say I don't have a lot of best friends. I have a few that are really, my best friends. A local guy over here I went to college with named Joe McCrae, Debbie Williams used to run Woodward camps, very close to. But I say like Mike Moran is more like a brother to me as being an only child, and we laughed so much. I know you guys can all relate to this, and the people, and probably the guys that are listening too can relate to when you just see somebody, you just start cracking up. You'll laugh until they leave or get on the plane or take off. And we were doing that. We didn't even watch the hockey game, and we had a club, private suite that we were a part of, and we just laughed and talked so much. And at the end, Mike was like, we were going to do this podcast. What do you think about joining and being a part of it? And I said, yeah, would love to. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I know Eric, so that's how it kind of started. And once we said let's do it, it took us 3 months maybe to get our shit together and to start. Now, when I say get our shit together, I mean we're still trying to get it together because not unlike you guys, our setup and the way we go is, we're working it out every day and trying to figure it out. But yeah, we were able to do one really quick, and try and feel it out and get it going. So yeah, that's how it started.
All right. So what's your favorite part about doing the podcast?
Meeting, we have been fortunate enough to talk to a lot of people. Sherry Elliott, we just had an interview with Greg Hill yesterday. Greg Grubbs, Joe Bomber, I mean, all Hall of Famers, which, I'm not very close to. Mike and Eric have been very close. They were, have Mike, of course, is Mike, and Eric being champion he is. They all know who he is, and he knows who they are. I don't know them quite as closely. So for me, getting to know them more has been great. Yeah, we ran into each other at races and things like that. But doing a pod, just like what you guys do. I mean, it's pretty great to connect with people that you also looked up to, and then seeing them, like Sherry Elliott was awesome. We saw her at Frogtown, and I didn't really know her, at all. And she was like, James, and it was, like we knew each other for a long time. I mean, that to me is the best part, meeting new people, of course, we're doing something that we love.
Nice. What's the part you maybe isn't your favorite or you don't like?
I don't like being on the East Coast and those guys being on the West Coast.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
I don't like that. They know I don't like that, but I don't really have a choice. It's 2 against 1. And I joke about that, but yeah, they start at 6 and I'm at 9, and we do our interview, but then the amount of time that we spend just talking to each other afterwards, I mean, it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock my time before I'm like, guys, I gotta go. It's probably a lot of what you guys do. I mean, after you talk to somebody, you're bullshitting for quite a while and laughing and talking about the interview. Yeah, we do that. And you know what we do a lot of too, which we don't capture on air, is the guest stays on and we just
same here.
We just start talking.
Yep.
and time goes by. You don't even realize
We
time's slipping away.
yeah, which you're gonna experience after the show. We call it the after chat shit show. And it normally, because like right after the show's done, Robert Cardozo's the first person in the Zoom room, and then from Robert it goes to like bing 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 bing, all these people. Then you just got way too many on, and they're all trying to ask you a question. So it's cool, but to the same, Melissa can tell you, there's been nights where she gets up at like 5:15 and I'm like going to bed an hour before then because I just lost track of time. And again, it's the West Coast that gets you, because for them,
right.
It's only like 11 or midnight. And I'm like, I gotta go. I'm falling asleep. I gotta go to bed. But those are some of the fun, those are fun times. Those are good times,
Yeah. It's hard to coordinate when you're not together, as you guys are doing. You're doing now. You're not in the studio anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard, but you have this thing that's on it. It's going to be 8:00. Every Wednesday. But for us, we're like, okay, who can do it on Thursday? Who can do it? No, okay, who can do it on Friday? Who could do it on Saturday? And that's how we go down the list. Give us a day you can make it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we all try and figure it's kind of like a meeting, trying to get people coordinated for a meeting.
That's there's sometimes I'm like, boy, did we have to set it for every week on Wednesday?
Yeah. Let me tell you, aggressive.
Didn't know what we were doing. Like, we're just, please never go back and watch the first 7 shows. Oh my God, were they terrible? But probably some of the funnest stuff, like trying to run the whole show on a MacBook Air. It was great. Oh God,
it was good. And I watched a couple of the first ones.
Yeah.
You guys had a different name. You guys had a different name for it in the beginning, right?
We were called the Michigan BMX Podcast Show.
Yeah.
Because back to what we talked about earlier, you want to like the hanging out with your friends and stuff like that at the races. The whole idea became about because of the indoor track that we had, and it was just like, we should do something. I think the original idea was we were going to rebroadcast the races and kind of do like commentary, and then we're like, no, we ain't. I'm not. That's too much work. And we were like, okay, we'll just do this show. But it was just Michigan, and within like 7 or 8 shows, we had a few people like outside of Michigan. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, we want you down. And we're like, well, let's just change the name. And then we changed it, and from there it just keeps growing. And it's super fun. So this is an awesome question. This is one Melissa found, and so you've got some heavy hitters as co-hosts. What was?
Oh no, that's Brian.
Oh, Brian tossed it in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian Fell, he helps us with behind the scenes, but he says, no disrespect at all here, but you've got some heavy hitter co-host on your guys' podcast. Was that intimidating at all, or was it just natural because you guys have been friends for so long?
It's a natural. I think it's natural for us.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I am fortunate, quite honestly, to be friends with these two guys that are so famous in the sport and have taken me in. And I did my racing thing, but these guys were, are legends, quite honestly. And yeah, it gets intimidating sometimes, but they don't. It's not because they make it feel like that. They're awesome friends. Like, truly, it's a brotherhood with us. There's so much respect for we will have arguments and disagreements regarding questions or content sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And or even we're trying to put together this Dirty Fest now, and we have calls all the time, trying to discuss how do we want to do it, and we don't all agree, but there is definitely not at any level one person strong arming the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're more famous than the other person. There isn't any of that with us. So yeah, I'm intimidated because this is the way I feel, but they don't make me feel like that.
Oh, cool. So the Dirty Fest.
Yes.
So talk about this. What do we got going on so far?
Yeah. So let me tell you that as I said before, there is this component of nostalgia with everyone, and after Dirty Fest, the amount of social media, that came out of people that were there, and and the talk was amazing. And having gone to that, and as I mentioned, Justin and Melissa, that I was kind of out of the sport. I had just come back, and going to Dirty Fest, I felt like I was back. It was back in the '80s.
Was it Dirty
Everyone
Fest
was there.
or the
Oh,
Frog
sorry,
Town?
sorry. Frogtown
Okay.
was like, yeah, I apologize. Frogtown. It was like going back to a race in the '80s, except the difference is you had uh, almost like every decade of legends during the same time, which which is what you don't see at all races. You don't see every level. You don't see people from the '70s that are legends. Then see people from the '80s that are legend. They were all together. So we left there, and we said, "Damn, this is awesome." And we said this would be great for something to do. And Mike has always had this vision of taking Dirty Knobs Productions and doing something at a bigger scale, meaning us doing a road show, going to different events. It just so happened that this thing is working out great for us because Eric works at Velocity. He is in charge of it's part of the KOA family, and he's in charge of building the mountain biking trails for there. And this is what he does. And he says, you know what, we have space, we can do something over here. It's in Southern California. So now you got Frogtown in Northern California. Then you have Dirty. Well, we didn't even have a name for it at the time, but Dirty Fest down in Southern California. So this could be really cool. And Mike sent out some feelers. We all kind of did, and the feedback was like, we got to do this. This is people want to do it. So we started brainstorming about fun things, and we said, well, maybe it just doesn't have to be a race, which we want to do an old school race, downhill track, right, type of thing. We said maybe we should do what we loved to do back then, is like foot down. So we're going to include a foot down competition.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to get a shoe sponsor that's helping us with that. Going to help us with that. We said, okay, what else could we do? We got a pit bike derby. So there's going to be a pit bike, a small bit. We got Colt. Robbie Morales at Colt is gonna sponsor the pit bikes. So we're gonna have pit bike derby.
Yes.
Eric is building a little track. We don't know yet if it's a figure eight or what the style is gonna be, but he's got a track that he's gonna lay out, and anyone can be a part of that. Vintage bike, of course, is very big. So we've got that going on, and we got Brad Sanders from Oregon, who is a big part of the BMX museum thing too, and he's going to be a part of trying to help us get that together, because we've never done anything like that, like a vintage bike show. So we're recruiting help in that way, and then we're going to do an '80s party. So you got to dress to impress in your '80s gear. We're gonna have a DJ. Justin, if you come down, maybe you can do a little spinning for us on the wheels of steel, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
And Melissa, you too got to help out.
You got to get her to tease her hair, rat it way up.
Wear some neon colors. But we got the '80s party, and what's great about this Velocity the KOA is everything is right there. So you could stay at cabins. They have campsites for people that are going to come in. There's hotels close by because they do a lot of mountain bike racing right over there. So they already have hotels. So it's a perfect thing. We're looking at the weekend of April 28th right now. I think that's a set date. And we've got a close pal of ours, Justin Shepard, another old CW guys, is helping us produce it. Because there's a lot of work, but he's been awesome helping us out with all the stuff that we're doing. But yeah, that's Dirty Fest. We're so excited for it. We have I don't know if I could say it, but Bob Harrow is designing our logo for us.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we're lucky with that. We're super stoked to see what that's going to look like when he finishes, but he's in the middle of drawing it out.
That's cool
right now.
So the question I've got, and probably some people in the chat. When does this come to the East Coast?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of my East Coast buddies are trying to convince us to get out east. It is something that we've talked about. This first one, we've kind of got to get off the ground.
Sure.
So we're working on that, and seems like we're doing okay so far with the planning. We feel pretty good about it. But yeah, if this goes well, we'd love to take it to the East Coast. We'd love to do it there. And you know, I don't know if you guys have had Todd Huffman on, but he's the one that produced Frogtown. You know, we've been we're friends with him too, and think it would be great to kind of try and do something like this where our event actually could be a part in a way with his up in Frogtown, so that it's almost like you go to Frogtown, you can go, you know, down the Velocity and then maybe on East Coast. And it's not a point. I don't think we want to ever get it to a points thing where people are like taking each other out, you know, to win a trophy. I think it's all about fun, but it would be neat if you know, some way make a circuit.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I think everyone's bones are a little brittle at this point,
right?
You know, at this age.
Dude, watching some of the races from Frogtown, like they were taking each other out down there. I think Terry Tennant and Dick Cheeseburger? Didn't they go after each other?
Yeah,
it was a great
legit.
race.
Terry's is looking good. He's committed to make the comeback, and he's looking really good. Yeah, that was awesome. So the one thing we've been talking about, which would be really cool, is the starting, which I think is cool, is we're working on the starting gate to be the same way that it was back in the day. So if we end up doing 70s bike, it'll be a rubber band start.
We've actually
when you get into the 80s. What's that?
We had to have one of those races a couple years ago at our local track because
you did.
Yeah, the ram died, and it was funny because I'd always heard about this, and all of a sudden one of the local guys, one of the dads, comes out and he just strung together just a whole bunch of rubber bands.
There you go.
And he took a staple gun, stapled a paper plate, and he put an X, and he stood on the side with bing like that for us, and that's how we had to do one of our races because the ram died and the backup ram died. So
there you go.
The kids were they had a blast with it. They had a blast. It was whatever race is the no cost race, like Olympic Day or something like that. So it was an eye opener for a lot of the young kids. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you remember this, but we didn't have back in the day until you went to like a grand, you know, one of the bigger races like a national or a state qualifier. You would go up to the gate and they had it would almost be like a detergent bottle with a hamster, you know, one of those yellow hamster trail things connected to it with ping pong balls in it that had numbers on it, and they would shake it, turn it over, and that's how you knew what gate you were in.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so we got Justin Shepard is working on that. he's gonna build us a contraption, but everything is it'll be old school. Flip it over, and then whatever you're standing there, you're in lane 1, you're in 4, you're in, and it just goes down the line. So we want to really try and make it as authentic as it was before.
That's awesome. We we got some name associations. All right. So we had some help with this. So it's just a quick answer. Melissa and I are going to throw out some names, and just give us the first thing that pops in your head. All right.
Okay.
Oh shit! I got to start with this one. Baby Nagai.
Baby Naga.
Naga. Shit. I knew it. So you're getting an early treat of Chris's birthdays.
That's okay. Baby Naga is what we used to call Robbie Morales when he was little.
I knew you guys talked about that. All right, we got to keep it quick. All right, you got the next one, Melissa?
Gomez.
Yep. Gomez, Dave Augusto, BMX rider out of New York. Awesome guy, local at Braddock, and really good friends of ours.
Awesome. Oh, man.
Jivin' Ivan.
Jivin' Ivan.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Jivin' Ivan Frazier. Another another guy from the Bronx, New York, that raced at Braddock. It's so funny because these are all coming from Mike, I think, Miranda. That this crew, I don't know if there's going to be more, but this crew used to ride their bikes across the GW Bridge from the Bronx to go to Braddock, which I don't know how many miles it is, but think about the the dedication to try and race BMX.
Wow.
These guys were just riding their bikes across the GW Bridge, and it's probably like a 10-mile ride through kind of hairy neighborhoods to get to the BMX track in the middle of the night. So yeah, so Jive and Ivan.
Yep. All right, Melissa.
Hollywood.
I don't know.
All right.
That guy.
Blank. Just mine goes blank.
Yeah, Hollywood.
All right. EC.
EC. Oh yeah. No. EC. What comes to mind? Technical, family man, and awesome dude.
All right.
What the?
Hollywood.
Wee-woo?
Mike is probably like, why didn't you say something about me? Okay.
Yeah.
Wee-woo.
Wee-wo.
Wee-wo.
These are all North.
You
these are
rate
North
these
Jersey
phonetically,
guys.
Justin?
I should have, but when I was talking on the phone, I'm like, I'll remember this.
Wee-wo is a guy that we were very close with. I traveled with him a lot. His name is Marlon Pearson. He was from New Jersey, and he got his nickname. He was an awesome fast, almost like a Tommy Bracken's fast in the straightaways. But when he hits a jump, he would go wee, and then he would go whoa as he came down.
Awesome.
So that's how he got the name Wee-wo.
That's the best nickname.
Yeah.
Chicken Head.
Chicken Head. Yeah, part of the Bronx crew. That his name was Joey Nieves, and his head would go like this when he raced, and he would go down the first straightaway.
He'd be pecking.
So Mike gave him the name Chicken Head.
Nice. All right. The next one. I love it landed on you.
Oh boy.
You timed that, I think.
I don't
purpose.
know. I know.
Whatever. Sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate. So all these guys went to Woodward, which is great. Paul Thompson, we used to call Sexual Chocolate. Awesome guy. Actually, BMX racer, like I said, out of the Bronx. He turned out to be this super. We knew he was super smart, but became a principal at a technical. I think it was a performing type of art school in New York. Well respected, but yeah, we used to call him Sexual Chocolate. I know I'm supposed to be fast at this, but I'm going to tell you this story. As counselors, we would play this game, and of course, Miranda is the one who would instigate this. We would play cards, and if you lost, it was like a bloody knuckles type of thing. You would get hit the number of times, like whatever the card was that you lost, you would get hit in your knuckles. And Paul Thompson, we hit him he got hit so many times one time that his hand swelled up like this fat that we thought maybe we really injured him where he couldn't ride. He went to Woodward and he couldn't ride his bike because we played a dumb card game that he made his hand swell up. Think about that one.
All right. So we have poultry.
Mike Paulson, we used to call Poultry, who is I think most people might know, and some people probably argue that he probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Mike Paulson used to ride for Schwinn. As an amateur, was unbeatable, and he was the group of the first counselors at Woodward, and disappeared to a point where we actually have this thing. Where's Mike Paulson? We want to try and find them because we love the guy. But somebody who really just hung it up after he was done racing, and he was so famous. I mean, you dig back in the magazines, and you'll see pictures of Mike Paulson. They're just pasted with him all over the place.
All right.
How about Hans Jobé?
Hans Jobé, like I said, I mean, I didn't race him that much. His name has come up a bunch of times recently,
Mm-hmm.
but super fast. Like I said, probably the best at pulling down the first straightaway. But he could pull seriously, like he could blow a gate, but his pull power was awesome. So I don't have much to say about him except I know a little bit about his brother was good, but yeah, he's a little older than I am, so I didn't really interact with him too much, but what I know of him, awesome guy.
All right. We got three more. So three more. We have next one up, Gruber.
Grubber, maybe
Grubber.
Greg Grubbs.
Yeah. Dang.
Greg Grubbs.
Man, you're getting another preview of Chris's birthdays.
That's okay. That's okay. Greg Grubbs, another one of the first first pros, I should say, at Woodward, when they first started the BMX thing, and he'll joke to you about, he won't joke to you, he'll tell you seriously the fact that he was probably the only one that get kicked out of camp as a pro, as a BMX pro, got kicked out of camp, but all really great guy, funny, sarcastic. I can't say enough about the guy because he is really an iconic for the 80s because of kind of the way he rode and the interesting kind of fun things that he did.
All right.
Sorry. Brand Burger.
Brandberger. That is Joe Baumert. Everyone has to have a nickname. You know what I mean? Like that's part of it.
That.
So we used to call him Brandberger. Actually, I don't know who. Probably Mike gave him that nickname. But Brandberger was Joe Baumert, as I mentioned before. Super awesome amateur, very fast. But yeah, again, one of the first counselors at Woodward.
All right.
I shouldn't say counselor because that's first pros to teach at Woodward.
All right, we got our last one, and it's a 2-for-1. Jimmy and Bobby Marley.
Oh my, Jimmy and Bobby Marley.
Not ringing that bell.
That one does it. Mike's gonna text me right now.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I really don't.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Well, that will be short. That's a short one.
Okay.
I know who Bob Marley is.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do next segment's the lightning round as we move out of the name association. We're gonna move into the lightning round, and
this was lightning.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
It gets easier.
It's so the name association is just kind of grown, and we're like, well, we do lightning round already, but like now people are texting me names to put in that segment. It's like, well, we're gonna have to figure this out, so we're working on here. But lightning round is brought to you by brandedpopups.com. The mission at brandedpopups.com is to provide a fan brand supporter with the opportunity to purchase a branded pop-up style canopy of their favorite company. And you guys make sure you guys get over to brandedpopups.com and check them out. It's rumor has it too, there's going to be some pretty big, heavier brands on board soon. I know Brian had to send out a big order for some fancy water company, Celsius. He's been real busy. I know he's on the mend now. All right, we are ready for lightning round. And you want to take the first one, Melissa?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
What is your all-time favorite movie?
The movie's, I don't know if any of you, maybe no one's ever heard of it. It's called Dead Solid Perfect. It's a golf movie. I think it's Randy Quaid is in it. It is the movie that Tin Cup copied. You know Tin Cup? You ever heard of Tin Cup?
Yeah.
So they made it based on Dead Solid Perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, one of those like you would never even know if you watch it.
All right.
Yeah, everybody's like, boo, wah wah.
That's it. Favorite TV show?
Oh man. Off the top of my head,
Mm-hmm.
I love King of Queens.
Great show. All right.
That is a
Funny,
good show.
sarcastic. It's funny.
What is your favorite snack or junk food?
All right, here's the thing. I don't eat sweets. I'm not a big sweets person. So junk food to me would be like French fries.
Okay.
French fries
Good
or
choice.
onion rings. I'm a big, I'll eat a plate of fries before I'll have an ice cream, like an ice cream cone.
All right. What was the last thing you Googled?
Something for Dirty Fest.
Okay.
Doing that all the time. So that's an easy
I was like, well. All right. Favorite city you have ever been to in the world and why?
I'm favorite city in the world. Shit, that's hard. I'm gonna stick to the U.S. I'm gonna say. I want to say Austin. I feel like I want to say Austin.
Okay.
I think Austin is I think Austin's a kind of a neat. Now it's getting a little more like everybody else, but
Pretty
their whole
trendy
thing
right
was
now,
like,
yeah.
what's that?
Pretty trendy right now.
Right. But before it was weird, that was their thing, is to be different. Like Austin was being very different, kind of like Portland, in a way. And I really like that about the way that they were, kind of making their own identity. It was such a cool place to hang out and go out. So, yeah, I'll give it to Austin. I love San Diego too. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Your favorite frame material: aluminum, steel, or carbon?
Yeah, I'm a steel guy. I mean, that's all I know.
That one.
That's easy.
Steel's real.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
All right. So, thinking back, if you hadn't gotten involved in BMX, what might you have been involved in instead of BMX?
Probably nothing good.
Okay.
And I honestly would say that. Yeah, I mean, I was not a great kid in elementary school. I got in a lot of fights. I got moved to a different school because I was just a troublemaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if I didn't get into BMX, then there probably would be a chance that I probably wouldn't have gone to college.
Okay.
Probably, wouldn't have continued education. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
I think we probably already know the answer to this one, but sweet or salty?
Yeah, it's salty.
Okay. Pie or cake?
Pie.
Okay.
Pie. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of it, but if there's an apple pie in front of me, I will have like a little fork thing. I'm a big apple pie.
Whole
I
one
can't
right
say
now.
you're a big apple pie when you only have one taste of it, but I do like it.
All right.
Your favorite guilty pleasure?
I want to say watching B movies. I will watch B movies if they're on, like Valley Girl, Can't Buy Me Love, any of those like really cheesy B movies that are on at like 12, 1 o'clock. I can't turn it off.
16 Candles.
Exactly. I'll watch it. I'll continue to watch. I'll always watch it.
All right.
Can't turn it off.
Instagram or Facebook?
More Facebook these days for some reason, but it's a great question because I think I was Insta for a while, but does that mean I'm getting really old now that I tell you that I'm doing Facebook more?
I have found this. There's a lot of within BMX lends itself into the Facebook era. There is a good portion in the Insta, but if you want to really get a good reach, Facebook's where to go.
I think
Only
we have
because
more.
you can post on both simultaneous.
Yeah, it just makes my life way easier.
Yeah, you can. But I think there's more dedicated BMX stuff, I think, on Facebook, which is why I probably connect to it more, just to see stuff on there.
All right.
Definitely. Are you an Apple or Android user?
I am an Apple. I'm an Apple. I love Apple. My work computer though is an HP, so you got to deal with it.
I have everything Apple in front of me, and the one PC we have is what runs the show.
Oh, the one that died a little while ago?
No, that was Comcast.
Oh, okay.
Sons of bitches. Where are we? Okay. What talent do you wish you had?
Oh man. What talent? Great question.
Break dancing.
Yeah. I think being like a high level baseball player.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
always, I played baseball, but to be at that level is incredible.
I think I can guess this one
Me
too,
too.
but flats or clips?
Yeah, flats. But if you're asking me what's probably better, is probably everyone talks about. You could kind of see it in your head why it would be better, clips. But yeah, I'm a flats.
What's one thing people are generally surprised to find out about you?
That I raced BMX.
Yeah. All right.
I can believe that. What was your very first job?
Very first job was working at a company called Lawn Ranger, where I would measure people's grass dimensions, and I would recommend what type of lawn service they should have. That was my very first job. I was a DJ, but I mean, like a job out of college. It was like, somebody turned me on to this, and they're like, great at it, but I didn't sell one service. It was terrible. It was horrible.
Was it called?
It was the worst thing I think I ever did.
What was the name of the company?
Hopefully,
again?
it wasn't commissioned.
It was called Lawn Ranger. Yeah, it was. It was commissioned. I didn't make a dime.
All right. Last question. What is your favorite Wednesday night live streaming BMX show?
Without a doubt, it's you guys. Come on.
All right. Thanks, and we appreciate the Brandon Pop-Ups for taking care of us for the lightning round section. And we are going to move into our newsmaker segment now. And it's a little light this week, but we're okay with that. Last week we had a lot of stuff going on. So first thing in the newsmaker segment is we're going to talk Waterford Oaks BMX. They're in Waterford, Michigan. In your time racing, did you ever make it up to Waterford?
You know what? I don't think I ever raced Waterford.
Okay.
I thought about that, before I came on. I'm like, did I ever? But in all fairness, there's a lot of tracks that I didn't remember racing when I was getting rid of all the trophies that we were, that were in the my parents' basement. That I was like, I was in Indiana. I can't remember being over there doing that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I was ever at Waterford. Okay. Famous track. I mean, has been the place I would have remembered for sure being there. Yeah, I don't think I raced there.
Well, they've got a pretty awesome promotion they're doing. They've teamed up with a local bike shop over there, friends of us, Magic Motorsports. They're bringing you the Magical BMX event. They're looking for 2 riders in need of new bikes. Magic, the bike shop, they've donated a DK Swift Pro, or you could take a Pro or a Junior, whichever one. And Waterford Oaks has donated a Position 1 expert bike. And what they need are nominations for some riders that need a new bike. And if you have nominations, you can send them to their email, which we're going to put in the chat. Please do. I think it's pretty awesome what they're doing there with Magic. And they're hoping that they can make some riders BMX Christmas extra magical. So thank you guys at Magic and Waterford Oaks. That's pretty awesome what you guys are doing over there. You want to talk about the banging bars, Melissa?
You'll have to give me a minute to go back to the script.
Okay.
Can't spring this on me. It's not nice.
Well, that's why we're live.
It's not my fault you don't have a co-host.
I know. They all have Grand's flu.
They're all sick.
Everyone is sick.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I went down the list and I was like, hey, nope, sick.
Nope.
Like, okay then.
Okay, so the Banging Bars Trek series, it's coming up real soon. They're doing 4 different stops in one weekend. You got January 6th, you're in Naples BMX. The 7th, you're in Charlotte in the morning and Cape Coral in the evening. And on Sunday, the 8th, you're in Triple Creek BMX. This is all happening in January. So I think any of my Michigan peeps, if you're thinking of a time to go down to Florida, this would be a great weekend to choose.
You come hang out with me.
Go check it out. He's only got one extra bedroom though, so.
The couch has a pullout.
Oh, there you go.
There you
Call
go.
and reserve your spot now.
Call now and reserve your spot.
Phone number is 248.
They know how to get a hold of me. Speaking of Cape Coral, got the state race coming up for the State Series Stops 3 and 4 that the super producer is going to be down here for. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be manning a lot of area down there. So we're going to have the Carbone set up, the T-Bone set up, the Pro Experience set up. Yeah, the rest of the brands too. Guys, man, I wanted to let you guys know there is camping at Cape Coral. Do not call Nick Jones. Do not email Nick Jones, and do not text message Nick Jones. The link will be in the chat. No, you cannot make reservations over the phone. Just follow the link, fill the form out, and you can be camping at the Cape Coral State Race. Any chance you're going to swing up for that? Or are you going to wait till we get down a little closer to you, James?
No, you got to come down.
Okay.
You got to come down. No, I'm going to come up.
Which one's what is it, Okahili? Which track is by you that's got a state stop this year?
I don't know. There's one off the Florida Turnpike, though. I pass it quite often going north.
I remember. Fell. Which one's over there by Miami? Let me know. He knows. 'Cause I think him and I were just talking about this the other day. Yeah, so that wraps up our Newsmakers segment. I want to say thanks to our friends at 110% Nutrition for making that happen and keeping me alive while down here in the heat with their amino acid mix for the water, because it's been a lifesaver. So we appreciate them. And we're now going to move over into the world famous trivia segment that is brought to you by our good friends over at Bombshell Racing System. Take it away, Melissa.
Mm-hmm. Oh. No intro music?
Where's
See,
the
you're
wait?
got me all twisted up.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. You know what? I hit the thing,
okay.
and I'm
ready.
like,
I'm ready.
"Where's
Don't
the
play.
music
I'm
at?"
ready.
There it is.
Oh.
It's like, wait, why does this seem awkward? It's like a warm, fuzzy sweater, like it wasn't transitioning correctly.
It wasn't quite this smooth. That's all right.
It's all right. We'll take two. Wait, we've already done that.
Yeah.
Well, we're still under the over and under that we had when Hydrogen Bikes was on, because that took 3 parts to do because the internet kept crashing. All right.
Yes. Okay. So, and James has done a really awesome job at not giving away the answer to my question yet, so I'm super excited. I got your sticker pack for you. I got the T-Bone backpack upside down. And then I have a very exclusive, somewhat limited edition. You know, if you know, I Love District Moms t-shirt here. In an adult size, so we don't have to worry about any kiddies unless they're gonna like sleep in it. I Love District Moms t-shirt going to the winner of the trivia. Let me clear my chat here. All right, so James mentioned earlier a couple times so far in our conversation, that he has a degree, a bachelor's degree in psychology. My trivia question this evening is, what university did he earn that bachelor's from?
And to answer your question, Zach, it is a 2X shirt.
Oh, yes.
It
is.
He said, is it at least a 2X shirt so I can win? All right. Thank you, Melissa. And I'll let you guys know about next week's show. We have Carl Hinckley joining us, and he is the owner of Nowhere BMX brand. So it's going to be a fun night hanging out with Carl as he tells us about the barn that they've got out there. That's a public place a private public place. They don't charge for you to come ride their skate park / pump track. The events they put on and everything that they've got going on over at Nowhere BMX brand. They got some pretty cool frames. He's going to be on with us next week. You guys make sure you tune in. Check it out. It's going to be a good time as Carl joins us next week. All right. And with that, I see... Sorry, I just glanced down and saw Mike's first... Oh, Mike. His first university answer. All right, we're going to check out our showcase segment. It's brought to you by Answer BMX. Thank goes, guys. And we're going to let James do the plug on this one. James, let him know what the latest episode is. The Dirty Knobs podcast.
we have Greg Hill coming up. We actually just spoke with him the other day. Wow. All I have to say is wow.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to enjoy this one. This one is a little bit different than the others. And I'll tell you what and I sent the note to Greg after this because you know what? I didn't really know Greg that well, and shame on me. And I told him that I said, you know what? I wish that I would have been a little better at trying to get to know you because I had such a good time with him. We all had a good time with him on the podcast, but I mean, I saw a different side. I thought he was like super serious all the time, and he was great speaking with us, and he gave us some nice little tidbits that I'm gonna save and not divulge, but I think it's gonna be a great podcast. So Greg Hill is on deck, and yeah, he's next. But yeah, everybody give a listen to that one. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think there's gonna be some talk. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I like the teaser. All right, Melissa, you want to let them know about the Moms Talk BMX show?
Hold on. You got it.
You're the other you're the co-host with me.
You want me to do it?
Okay. All right. Moms BMX podcast. Okay. Group of ladies here. I think the last episode they put out, I think was the Will Grant episode. We talked about it a couple times. A good majority of them were down at Grand, so hopefully they're feeling well and we can hear some new things from them. But they're gonna sit down and talk about BMX and life and all things.
That's the Moms Talk BMX. Yeah, they were busy at Grand's, going live here and there. They some contests and stuff. Looks like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll put a link to their Facebook page in the chat so you guys can follow along when they got new stuff. Come like and subscribe to their page, and they'll let you know when they got new stuff coming out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beer Budget BMX Show. It's the only live stream, open forum, trash talking, hot topics, district mom, gossip, teams, tracks, riders, and news, brought to you each week by the gang over there at Beer Budget BMX. Let me tell you what. When you guys think of Beer Budget BMX, this is what I want you to think of. The Thunder Midget nude wrestling at Dirt Fest against the Chicken. That is what you need to think of. That's how the show is going to run. It's that way each and every week. It's crazy. Sometimes Rick has a shirt on. Sometimes he doesn't. You never know. By the end of the show, it's typically tore off, and he's doing his Randy Macho Man impression. You guys make sure you tune in this week as they recap the Grands. And as long as they're over the Grands flu, homie Mike will be there for sure. We don't know if Rick's going to be over Grands flu yet. Make sure you guys check them out. Subscribe, like, follow, because they go on the air whenever. They have beer budget.
Love those guys. Love those guys.
They do an awesome job. Appreciate them, guys. And our next one is the Lane 8 podcast. And they got a new episode dropping. Is that Ronan? Is that how you say that, Melissa? Ronan?
Yeah.
Ronan Weber?
I think that's the newest one. To tell you the honest truth, I didn't go back and check it.
We're going to say it is. It's Ronan Weber. Cool dude from down under. Make sure you guys check him out. Todd's he's a Floridian, right? Yeah. He works for he works for the So the link's in the chat. Make sure you check him out. And then we're going to talk about our friend over here at the Boss Man Racing vlog, Maurice Adams page. Get over, check him out. He's always doing tons of edits, everything from racing to trails, just to kind of even the lifestyle stuff. And he's got his clothing line, Boss Man clothing line. So make sure you guys give him a follow. He sponsors a team out of Ohio. It's pretty cool. He's active. He's busy training. He's doing all kinds of stuff. So give him a like, give him a follow. If you guys are a podcast, a live stream, if you guys do print, social media, whatever you guys are, and you want us to give you a shout out each week and let people know where to find you, all you got to do is email it to us at info@allthingsbmxshow.com. And we'll get it on for you. We enjoy sharing the word and spreading the love of BMX around. So before I give Chris a call, I want to tell you, I listen to a lot of the shows on my drive down here. And I'll tell you, I probably laughed the most, not from just delirious, almost falling asleep. No, it was the show you guys did with Robbo. My God, I had to keep rewinding because I was missing things that I was laughing about. Because he was one of my favorite riders when I got in the sport, and I remember like seeing him at the Christmas Classic in Columbus, checking out, and I'm like, we're probably the same age to be honest, but I'm just standing there at the counter. I'm like, holy shit, that's Robbo. But yeah, that one. That was I mean, all the episodes are good. It's fun. You guys bring that different dynamic, the behind the scenes stuff too. But he was hilarious because that was one of the guys that I knew about.
He was a guy. So talk about I mean, he was younger than all of us, and we were fortunate to hook up with his family. They traveled with us. Mike would fly in, and we would all hang together, stay in the same hotel, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we became very close with Robbie. He was almost like, I don't want to say our little brother because he'd probably kill me right now for that. Like, now he could probably kill me, but back then he was like very smaller. But Robbie was one that we picked on like our little brother.
Mm-hmm.
We would give him wedgies. We would, and his mom would, Robbie, don't let your hiney touch the carpet. Like we were in the hotel room. Meanwhile, we're trying to play with him as much as possible. But yeah, Robbie, great. This is a guy, you do like him for a reason because he is a guy that was awesome at BMX, but even better at trying to give back to the sport that he enjoyed so much. So I don't know if we were able to get that through enough, but he gives back so much
Mm-hmm.
to try and promote anything on two wheels. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So we love to see that, when one of our friends,
Cool.
becomes like that.
Did we get a winner yet, Melissa?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
I had a couple. I got to go back over here. Hold on, because my computer
this should be
erased them
interesting.
all. But let me go back over here.
It was not Cluck U University.
You know what?
No.
Cluck you is?
No, I don't. I just glanced down and
It's a chicken place.
like
It's
a
a
restaurant.
chicken wing. It's a chicken wing place at Rutgers.
Oh, okay.
You get chicken wings over there.
All right.
That's funny. So yeah, so the answer is you graduated back in the day from Rutgers University in New Jersey. And the first listener, watcher, viewer, whatever, to get that was our good pal, Mike Miller.
Oh, Mike.
He was on it. And speaking of Mike, let me take a pause here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mike, send me your address in a message and I'll get this out to you.
Yes. So on my flight down, Mike was on. We had him on for the show. He talked about the book. I had a chance to finally go through, finish it, and read it. I went cover to cover on it on the flight down. Couldn't put it down. It's a great book. I recommend everybody pick it up. I was parts of the book I actually laughed out loud. But Mike does an awesome job of, even if you're not, like I was telling Melissa, you may not know the names of some of the BMXers he refers to, but he does such a good job of pulling you in, because he did it also with some employees that he worked with, where he explained them, and by the time the stories were done, you felt like you knew them. And he did the same thing with like the BMX stories and the people in there, and just interweaving his message of day one. And I don't want to give it away, so you got to get the book. And Mike, put the information in where they can order the book, and I'll make sure it gets in the show notes. But put that in there so they know where to go to order. It's a great read. It's great.
Mike Miller. Can't say enough about that guy. Love that guy.
Yes. Yep. All right. We are going to do birthdays. So let's get Chris on the phone. We're going to call him here. And here we go. And we're going to get the birthdays up.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh. Mike Miller says, and Miranda punched me too.
Hey, Chris?
Hey, JT, what's up?
Oh, shoot. Hold on one second. My
I'm going to say that sounds a little quiet.
it is, because...
You don't have me hooked up to the board?
yeah, hang on. Oh, you know what?
Okay.
Every time... Here we go. That's better. Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Oh, you
All right.
gotta hit the volume button, Justin. Lord.
Step one.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah,
Go
man.
for it.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be great. How you doing, James?
Poor Gary.
All right.
Okay, so you ready?
I am, man.
Okay, here we go. So birthday's brought to you by On Two Wheels. So you're out and about, you need something for your bike international, look up the bright orange tents of On Two Wheels. They will take care of you. So if you're celebrating your birthday this week, you are celebrating with, here we go, Gary Liakopoulos.
That's way closer than I could get it.
Yeah. I would have gone with that.
I race with Gary, and he's a really good dude, but I'm sorry, Gary, I can't pronounce your last name.
I talked to him on the phone yesterday, and he told me, and I still couldn't get it right.
Oh, really? All right, so let's see. Who else we got? We got Andre LaCroix, Josh Blair up at DB Sports World up in upstate New York. We have Kevin Hall. He's a old school BMX racer.
Yeah.
You remember him, James?
Oh yeah. I've been on the gate with him plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
Saw the backside of most part.
You followed him around, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. We have let's see, Kevin Hall, Seth Harmon, let's Keith Hurd, Gordon Driver. Let's see here, Matt Cheddar, Sheely.
Dang, got that one. Yep.
I lucked out on that one, didn't I? Let's see, Byron Patterson, Larry Hanna, Jay Kearns, Chad Morris, Jesse Welch, Brian Wallace, Steve Dunnigan. Yeah, I know that's wrong. Sean Wise, Connie Hubert,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Chapman, and oh boy, Philip D. Kenyon. I don't know.
Nice job, Chris.
Oh.
That's the last one I got on there. So, hey, if you're not friends with Justin on Facebook, send us an email at info@allthingsbmxshow.com and we'll add you to our list. And with
Just like
that,
Pat Welch did.
Yep. Pat sending in the Magic and Waterford information. Thanks, Pat.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Pat Welch, you get a gold star for the day, my man.
He does.
That's right.
Right? But yeah, no, that bike giveaway thing at Waterford Oaks is pretty cool. You guys go check that out if you can. Other than that, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. God bless you. Have a great night.
Oh, Chris, before you go,
Yes.
Gary's in the chat and said that you got it right.
Oh, look at
Well,
that.
that's a first.
So kudos to you.
Oh,
right.
shoot. Oh, that's good. Great. Yeah. No. Hey, James, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Hey,
keep
good
up
to
the
hear
good
your
work
voice,
over
Chris, man. We got to see you on here next time.
there. Yes. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll see Chris in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. I'll see you guys
Bye,
in the
Chris.
after show.
All right. Later, buddy.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
And talk about something pretty cool. Did you see in there, Matt Boshin? So he's listening in Australia right now, James. And he said that Ronan he's actually the gentleman that's on Lane 8 podcast. He's actually just up the road from him, which in Australia is like 5 hours away because that's just up the road because like every track is a gazillion miles apart. But pretty neat. He's listening over there in Australia, and
Awesome.
he's like, yeah, he's from the club up the road from us. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I'd like to hand it over to you, and you can take us out, and any shout outs and thanks and whatever you take care and take it out for us.
Hey, I mean, my shout out's easy. It's to you guys. Thank you for having me on. But I mean, a shout out to what you guys are doing, continuing to promote this sport of BMX, which we all love. and for the hard work that you guys all do. I mean, truly, like I said before, and I mean it. It's people don't see what happens behind the scenes. I mean, you showed a picture on social one time, Justin, of your setup, and it's quite amazing. So thanks to you guys. Shout out to you guys and all you do, and thank you for having me on.
We appreciate it. And with that, Melissa, is there anything you want to add before we check on out?
No, it was a pleasure talking with you, James. We appreciate your time.
All right.
Melissa, thank you. Melissa, do you race?
Nope.
You don't. You just like to watch and support?
I knew absolutely nothing about the BMX world until Justin and I started dating.
All right. I was trying to figure that out. I stalked you a little bit to see if you actually were on a bike and racing and
No,
all right.
I live
Justin,
vicariously.
You haven't got her on a track.
No, she's made it very clear that that is not something she's going to do.
The deal breaker.
She's fine, and she does a super producer role and helps me set the tents up when we go to the race.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
Healthy to have. I'm pretty submerged in the world, but it's healthy to have kind of a clean line between what's his hobby and what's our stuff together.
Yeah.
I think it works out better that way. Plus, I'm scared shitless.
I can see that.
So. I am an occupational therapist by trade, so bike injuries aren't as scary as motorcycle injuries, but they can be just as devastating. And watching people get put back together is hard enough on a daily basis, let alone thinking I'm risking my own life.
Right. I could see that. I could see that.
But I'll support anybody else in it, though.
You're the smart one, actually.
Yeah.
Of the crew.
Depends on who you ask.
All right. Once again, thanks again. And stick around. We'll be chatting here in a few minutes. All right, James?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. To everyone that joined us this evening, thank you guys. We'll be back next Wednesday. Look forward to hearing from you guys. You guys have a great night.
I got moto